Today we got some good news on two beaten down companies that are extremely popular right now in the investing community. I'm talking about Carnival Cruise and I'm talking about Boeing. The news actually comes out at a very interesting time here when both of these stocks are beaten down severely. So I want to discuss that in today's video. Carnival actually has some good news surrounding the industry and things are looking good for the future, which I will discuss. And Boeing here has more company-specific news, which again we'll go through in detail. So today's video is going to be a very interesting one. It's going to be a different style video because it's more news related. So if you guys want to see more videos like this on other stocks as well, just hit that like button down below and let me know in the comment section as well so I can create these videos for other companies and stocks moving forward. So CCL, Carnival Cruise Line stock, is well off its highs, down over 82% currently. And this is one of the hardest hit stocks and industries during this global issue. Investors fled the stock on panic and fear as there was a real risk that the company would have gone through bankruptcy by now or in the near future. But as I covered in a recent video going over their financial situation, in a nutshell, Carnival has taken on a lot of debt recently to help them. This is going to get them through these tough times, so the risk and reality of a bankruptcy here in the next few months has more or less gone to 0%. And of course, the sooner we get past this global issue, the sooner Carnival and other cruise lines can open back up and operate, which will once again get money flowing into this company and this industry and completely eliminate the risk for bankruptcy in the next year or two. Anyways, today we got news that cruise line demand is looking strong for 2021, and this is extremely good news for investors in Carnival Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian Cruise Line as well. This means passengers are really looking forward to getting past this issue and getting back on these cruise ships sometime in 2021 to take a much needed break from life. Now I know a lot of you are saying that a lot of the bookings we're seeing here in 2021 in these cruise lines are just from people who had their cruises canceled here in 2020 and they're rebooking it for 2021. Well, according to cruisecompete.com, in the last 45 days, which is when most of this global issue really has hit this industry hard, there has been a 40% increase in bookings for 2021 compared to 2019. And guess what? Only 11% of these bookings are from people whose trips were canceled in 2020. Now, this could mean on the flip side that a lot of people are just rescheduling from late 2020 to sometime in 2021. That's a possibility. I'm not going to deny that. But what we're seeing here, regardless, is a strong interest in cruising in 2021. The way I see it is that a lot of people have written off 2020 for cruises, and now the demand for 2021 has essentially skyrocketed because of this. Also, these cruise liners are pushing a lot of deals and promotions as well, so people who have never even considered a cruise before may be tempted to finally give it a try here in the next year or two. Prices are extremely cheap, and you may not see deals like this again in the future once things start to stabilize with this industry. Also, according to a recent poll, 75% of responders said they want to get back to getting on cruise ships at the same frequency, probably once or twice a year, as they did before this whole global issue hit us. 25% of the people said they plan to either cruise less often or not cruise at all after this issue, and this is completely expected as there's permanent fear now instilled in people. Honestly, because of this, like I mentioned in a previous video, it would be foolish to expect Carnival Cruise's revenue and profits to reach levels of 2019 anytime soon. There will be a big hit to the company's earnings even once this is all behind us, and it will take quite a few years to get back 2019 levels in my opinion. Some of these passengers will pretty much never get on a cruise again, but at the same time, you have passengers that never considered a cruise before that may do so now because prices are so attractive. So we'll have to wait and see which side of this really wins, but according to this poll, things are looking pretty good. But again, results in 2021 and 2022 will really show us how this truly plays out. What I also find promising is that around 76% of people whose cruises were canceled are taking the option of a credit for a future trip instead of requesting a refund. This also helps the cruise stocks as they can use that capital now to keep them sustained during these tough times. Now, these companies will hurt in the long run because of what they're doing right now with all these credits and offers and all that stuff. But the main issues that these companies are facing is today in the short term, and when they get past this, they can slowly start to build their business back up again. The way I see it is they're pretty much like, okay, let's just accept lower earnings for the next couple of years if that means we can actually get through these tough times right now. And in my opinion, I think this is probably the best way to go to keep people interested in cruising in the future. So as it stands today, things are looking good finally for the cruise companies here like Carnival. And as a result, the stock is slowly starting to come back as well, up over 7% today on this positive news. Now our next company to cover here is Boeing, and this is another company hit extremely hard from the current issues. This stock is down over 66% currently from its highs, and at one point was down nearly 80% as well as a dip below the $100 per share mark. Boeing is struggling as with the whole airline industry, and today they announced some delivery and order numbers for March. So at first you can see headlines like this when you go and search up any Boeing news, and it's going to say stuff like Boeing cancels 150 orders in March, or Boeing customers cancel staggering 150 MAX plane orders, deepening crisis as the global issue roils air travel. And you're probably thinking, how in the world is this good news? Well, it's not exactly good news when you look at canceled orders. That's never a good thing. But on the flip side, on the positive side, there were some new orders that came in March. Buried in this article here, you can see that the last sentence states that the company saw 31 new orders in March. And yes, this is far less than the cancellations, but it is still new orders nonetheless. This means that their customers are still looking to buy planes despite the global issue. And although this may look bad for the short term, guys, Boeing has over 5,000 planes in backlog still, despite all of the issues that are currently going on. And looking at the breakdown here in March, they actually released their delivery numbers as well, which in other words is customers that finally got their planes delivered. And we can see that there were a few commercial and defense planes delivered last month. So the company is still chugging along, guys, and they're taking orders and delivering ready orders despite everything going on. On this news, Boeing stock is essentially flat, which funny enough tells me that even though the headlines look horrible right now, remember 150 orders canceled, investors don't really seem to care anymore. I think it would take something very drastic to bring the stock back to levels under $100 per share, in my opinion. At this point, I think it's something similar to Carnival, where I think there's a lot more upside than downside in these stocks. And I think as we see more positive news come out over the next few months and years, these companies will recover, in my opinion. Also, Boeing specifically reports their earnings here in about a week from recording this video. So if you want to see a detailed video on my thoughts on the earnings, some details around the earnings and all that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments section down below. Guys, hope you enjoyed this quick video. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one.